People follow integrity, not titles. Are your actions worthy of being a leader? You really have to ask yourself that question every single day. Welcome to the Vet Rise podcast. I'm your host, Juan Perez. My goal is to make success after service accessible to every veteran in society. I believe in the power of leveraging your service, not as a label that defines you, but as a launching pad for your next chapter. What we have been doing hasn't been working, and it's on us to start changing the culture. Enjoy the episode, and thank you for your time. Welcome to the Vet Rise podcast. This is episode number 13. Today we're going to be talking about self-leadership, how to lead yourself so you can lead others. I want to thank everyone for all of the outpour of support that you guys have sent my way recently, especially for everyone that's been following me for this past year. I've had a lot of downs, but I've been creating an enormous amount of ups for myself because I am delusionally optimistic, and it's only delusion if you're not actually doing the steps. So with that being said, let's get into it. How can you unlock your leadership potential as a veteran? You've been through a lot. You've experienced a lot. You've been put in positions to be a leader a lot in the past. But how can you truly shift the mindset and become that leader, not just for others, but for yourself? You see, real leadership starts in the mirror. You can't lead a team to victory if you're not winning your own personal battles. Every day you have to ask yourself, would I follow me? If not, well, it's time to start making some changes and really start leveling up your life. You have to have a vision. You have to craft your future and have a vision for yourself. You see, most people spend so much time planning their vacation, planning their weekend, planning their holidays, but they don't spend time planning their life. You have to stop being like most people. Create a vision so compelling that every morning you jump out of bed ready to chase it and go after it. And then as needed, break it into daily rituals and routines. You should be able to know exactly what your vision is. You should be able to see it every single morning. Display it somewhere where you can see it. The bathroom mirror, on your phone wallpaper, wherever you will see it daily. Those constant reminders will help turn your vision into a reality. Now, everyone loves the word discipline, right? However, I like to think of the word devotion, because when you have devotion, you understand why you need to be disciplined. You understand why it's important. Discipline isn't this sexy word. It's the secret ingredient that helps you achieve success. See, without it, you're not going to be able to keep going off the momentum. That motivation, it is temporary. But if you have discipline, you can work your way towards anything you want. And devotion is understanding your why. Devotion is understanding that when it gets hard, you remember why this is important to you, why you are making the changes in your life, and why you know that you want to be around to walk your daughter down the aisle and give your son advice when he's going through marriage problems. Be around to see your grandkids grow up. Be around and not confined to a wheelchair. That is your devotion. That is your why. You have to identify what is your weakest discipline point. What are you having trouble with? Are you hitting snooze in the mornings? Are you not waking up? Are you not going to the gym? Are you binge watching TV shows? And you have to find a way to tackle it head on. You should have a no 0 days policies for your key goals. Every single day you should be moving intentionally as much as you can to make sure you achieve something that day that moves you towards your goals. You see, at the end of the day, nobody's going to do it for you. And unless you really realize that you have to be the one that creates the life that you want for yourself, it's very hard to do so. Because we try and think of ways that we can take it easy. And we have to find a way to realize that it's not about that. It's about making your life easier by doing the hard things that you have to do. Even a tiny action beats inaction. Neutrality is a negative. If you're standing still, everybody else is still moving forward and you're not. You have to have emotional intelligence. You have to find a way to navigate the storm. And you have to make sure you respond instead of react. Emotions can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. And you have to choose. Are you going to allow them to be your worst character flaw, or you wouldn't want to allow them to be the thing that holds you and aligns you and is your true north, your compass. You have to start recognizing when ego enters the room. When is the ego that you have taking over? Because it's usually the first sign of poor leadership, honestly. If your ego is taking over, it means that, honestly, you don't have control over your emotions. I'm going to challenge you guys. I'm going to challenge everybody here to go 1 week without reacting emotionally in the heat of the moment. Reflect on how you need to handle it and do so. Respond, detach for a moment, come back to it, and then reflect on the difference that it actually made when you decided to respond instead of reacting. You have to have resilience. You have to embrace the suck when needed. Understand that. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. It doesn't work that way. If you have growth, you are going to sacrifice comfort. If you want to have comfort in your life, guess what you're going to sacrifice? Yeah, growth. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. Reflect on your last major setback. Like, really think back. When was the last time that you had a major setback? And it's not about finding the silver lining. It's about reframing it to realize that even though things didn't go how you wanted them to, you still learn something from it. You have to actively seek some sort of discomfort every single week, whether it be cold showers, public speaking, going to the gym, meal prepping, and eating your meals and saying no to your colleagues that want to go out to get Portillo's for lunch. You have to find a way to make yourself uncomfortable. I promise you, embracing the suck when needed. When needed, it's not about having a miserable life. Don't you dare do that. But embracing the suck when needed helps you grow in so many more ways. All right, let's stop for a minute. This is the part of the episode where I ask you to do me a favor, but it's not a favor for me. It's a favor for your fellow brothers and sisters that served with you. Do me a favor. Think hard and share this podcast with someone that you think would benefit from it. If you know someone that has been struggling, if you know someone that is going through it right now, and you know that they want better for life, they just don't know how to do it. If this podcast can help them, do it. That's it. That's my only ask. If you want to follow me, then great. You want to subscribe? Go for it. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for your time. Back to the episode. You have to have integrity. Integrity is the foundation to your leadership. What does integrity mean to you? Well, for me, integrity is what my mom told me when I was little, and my dad. The integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. See, people follow integrity, not titles. Are your actions worthy of being a leader? Are your actions worthy of following? Would people look at you and say, that is someone that I want to emulate. That is someone that I want to learn from. You need to audit your daily decisions. Would you respect a leader who made those choices? The decisions you're making on a daily basis, are they worth copying? Is it something that you think you would want to do if you were seeing a leader, a mentor of yours do these things? Now, it's controversial, absolutely, but it's true. Sometimes doing the right thing means standing alone. You're not going to be popular. The status quo, the way that society is, it wants everyone to fit in to this mold. But you're here to break that mold. You're here to find a way to live the life that you want. It's not about trying to aim for happiness, because if you're aiming for happiness, you're telling yourself that you are not currently happy. You have to realize that you are chasing much more than that. You want to live an epic life. So you do have to live a life of integrity. You do have to live a life that is going to be a little bit of an outcast from the rest of the world. And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with realizing that you are going to be a little bit different. You have to be proud of that. It's the only way to be. You have to master communication. You have to have masterful communication. It's more than just the words you're saying. You see, leadership, it either fails or it flourishes in communication. What you say matters less than how you make people feel when you say these things. Active listening is so underrated. We should be practicing it. We should be applying it. We should be working on it every single day. People want to be heard way more than they want to be advised. You should go into every conversation curious, ready to learn something new. Because if you have that mentality, you're going to walk away with much more knowledge than you had when you went into the conversation. And that's what it's all about. Speak less, listen more. And when you do speak, make sure that every word has a purpose. Be intentional. Be intentional, because that way, when people hear you talk, they will listen because they know that you don't waste words. You have to have total accountability. Own every one of your actions. Leaders, they own not only their successes, but their mistakes as well. In fact, they own their mistakes louder than their successes. When was the last time that you publicly owned a mistake or publicly apologized or made the apology that you needed to that one individual? You have to understand it's not about just doing a weekly reflection and thinking about what did I do well this week, what I didn't do well. It's daily. What went well today? What didn't? What can you improve on for tomorrow? And making that public commitment to have personal improvement over yourself not only will inspire other people, but it is a goal that you can make for yourself to hold yourself accountable. It is a powerful motivator, I promise you. And you have to be able to have lifelong learning. It should be an endless pursuit. You see, the world's best leaders are insatiable learners. What did you learn today? What did you try and pursue today that was a little bit different than yesterday? Did you take the time to actually learn something new today? Pick something that you don't know too much about and dive into it with a lot of curiosity. Do a dive, a deep dive. Expand your perspective. You also have to have an art for self-mentorship. Mentoring others starts with mentoring yourself first. You have to realize that if you don't allow yourself to be coachable, not just by others, but by yourself, and you have to change your opinion on something every single day, what is it that you are going to allow yourself to learn from other people? Allow yourself to change your mind about something every single day and pay attention to it, because you have to be in charge of your own life. At the end of the day, last but not least, you have to understand that you are going to stir the pot a little bit. You're going to be a little bit controversial. People are not going to like it. People are going to be offended, and that's okay. Because you're not here to appease everybody. You're not here to cater to everyone's feelings. You're not here to make everybody happy. Great leaders are not universally liked. They are respected. What stand will you take that might be unpopular but is right? What are you staying quiet on right now that you know you need to speak up about? Leadership is not a popularity contest. It's about making the tough calls, standing firm in the face of adversity, and sometimes you're going to stand alone. Sometimes you're going to look around and there's going to be nobody around you. But being a leader means understanding that you are not here to appease to everyone else. It's about what's doing right. It's about having integrity, a vision, total accountability, discipline. So remember, the next time that you ask yourself, is this the right thing? Is this what I should be doing? Think about what is the one action you're going to take today that screams leadership. Make it something that scares you. Remember, leadership isn't about being the best. It's about bringing out the best in those around you. That's what it means to be a true leader. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Vet Rise podcast. If today's episode inspired you, made you think, or simply just gave you hope, I have a small favor to ask. Share it with just one veteran or someone you think could benefit from my message. Your share could light a spark for them. You don't know who you might save. For more insights and to join this mission, follow my socials at JP the Veteran Coach and explore how we can rise together. Thank you for joining us, for being part of this journey, and for believing in the power of rising together as veterans. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep rising, and never forget we are stronger together. My name is Juan Perez, and thank you for your time.